Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bybit Mastermind, our professional live streaming series. My name is Cyrus. Today we're going to deep diving into crypto options trading, a strategy that's becoming increasingly crucial in these uncertain market conditions. So, looking at our current macro landscape, we've seen significant shifts happening. So, we have a new US administration coming up, Bitcoin ETF developments driving market sentiments, persistent inflation concerns, and also, of course, the Federal Reserve in the US maintaining its hawkish stance. So it seems that we are at a fascinating intersection of bullish potential and macro uncertainty. So this market environment presents both challenges and opportunities, which is exactly why we are focusing on options trading today. So whether you are looking to hedge your portfolio against downside risk or capitalize on volatility, options offer more flexibility than traditional spot trading. So for traders watching, remember that options can be powerful tools, but they also require a solid understanding of both market dynamics and the instruments themselves. So that's exactly what we're helping you to develop today. So before introducing our expert panel that we have today, we're gonna have something exclusive for our newcomers. That's our red packet giveaway campaign, which will happen sometimes during the stream. So once you see a red packet button appear on the screen, simply just click it and you're able to share a 500 USDT reward. There you go. That's the red packet icon you want to click on when it appears. So when you click it, you're able to share that the 500 USDT reward pools. So please note that this is exclusively for newcomers. So if you don't want to miss out the chance and the reward, make sure you hit the sign up button and create your own Bybit account now. Also, don't forget, hit the like button, share the stream with your friends, with your loved one, so that they can also learn something new today. So we do have a very excited lineup of guests today. I want to introduce our panel. So first of all, we have Daniel Yu, head of asset management at Matrix Port. Hey, Daniel, how are you?
Hi, guy. Hi. Yeah,
Hey,
nice to meet you. Yeah.
could you give us a quick intro?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel Yu from Support. I'm a head of asset management, and we are leading a crypto asset management firm in Asia. We focus on deliver innovative crypto asset management structured products to help the clients to find best investment opportunities.
Right. I'm sure you guys have a lot of macro insights. We'll talk to you later. But moving forward, we also have Jensen Wang, head of trading at Sega. Hey, Jensen, how are you?
Hi, Cyrus. How are you doing?
Good. Can you give us a quick intro and tell us what Sega is?
Yeah, so I'm Jansen. I'm head of trading here at Sega. Sega is a decentralized structured investments protocol. We help users generate yield on their deposits through option strategies. I've been with Sega for about a year and a half now. Sega currently has about 21 million in TVL. We're looking to grow that in this bull market.
Right. So I'm sure you guys have, very deep into options trading. I'm sure you guys have a lot of insights to share. And then, of course, we have Tommy, founder and CEO of Typus Finance. Hey, Tommy, good to have you on the show.
Hey, I'm Tommy. I'm founder and CEO at Typus. Typus is a real infrastructure built on Sui. So we provide primary option market that including very short dated, like 10 minutes expiry to monthly expiry. And on the other hand, we also provide principal protected structured product. And on top of that, we are also building RFQ internally. So it's basically a full suite option trading protocol on Sui. Yeah.
Awesome. And then we have Joe Takayama, trader and crypto YouTuber. Hey, Joe, good to see you again here.
Hi, Cyrus. Hey, all. Very nice meeting you.
Yeah.
And a little bit about myself. I run the largest crypto YouTube channel in Japan. I do a lot of other crypto investments in the primary market. And also previously, I was working and also trading at Morgan Stanley as a hedge fund trader. And that's my background. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Well, last but not least, we have our very own Kendrick, financial product manager at Bybit. Hey, Kendrick.
Hey, Cyrus. Hi, everyone. Yeah, this is
Hey,
Kendrick. I'm currently, I'm working at Bybit. So I'm responsible for the Bybit option product. So pretty much designed for the option product. So if the audience have any like option related questions, you guys can ask me. And also very happy and excited to join this panel discussion. Yep.
Right, awesome. So I'm sure like everybody here, they will have a lot of insight to share, especially on the macro front and how to use options, to maximize your opportunity. But first of all, in the first part of the discussions, I want to give some times to talk about like the current macro landscape. I'm pretty sure the U.S. elections was actually one of the very major focus. I'm sure like coming up in the next year, there's a lot of conversation about that. But I'd like to go around, just to ask everybody here, how has the U.S. elections outcome actually reshaped the crypto market expectation for 2025? Let's start with Daniel first.
Okay, thanks to the host. As you know, that the Trump re-elections, he is very supportive to the crypto policies. So, and some of the serving countries and have considered as Bitcoin as a strategies reserve plan. So, this of the information have boosted the market confidence, and the Bitcoin now is break above the 1992Ks, and the investor now in the markets are very optimistic about the crypto market forward. And I think as a more and more investor for the traditional markets, financials seeing as a BTC, Bitcoin as a strategy reserve, and we seeing that the market will in the long term will goes up. Yeah.
Right. So how about Jensen? So are you as bullish as Daniel? In crypto under a Trump administration, is that something that we should be looking forward to?
Yeah, I think it's something that's really, really good for the markets. I think Trump winning the election, he's always had a really crypto-friendly stance. I mean, he's even launched like some DeFi projects or some coins that you may have heard of. And I also think that post his election victory, we've been hearing a lot of the market sentiment where we're actually seeing a lot of institutional adoption. And I know we've been speaking institutional adoption for the past like 2 years, but this time around, it actually is going to be a lot of institutional adoptions with ETF, BTC ETF being approved, the ETH ETF being approved. Potentially further down the road, we have a Solana ETF. So yeah, I really think that this time around, the institutional adoption is really clear. We're seeing a lot of interest from traditional funds and investors to get into crypto. And I think this is really bullish for the market.
Right. So how about Tommy? Is any specific policy changes should traders to watch for in the coming, say, the next 6 months?
Yeah, I think CME or like CME options, Bitcoin options just got approved like 2 months ago. And after Trump got elected, I think all the regulation will be opening up like more lean on friendly side of cryptos. So I think that will encourage the Wall Street fund to join the space, and that could potentially like the pricing power of Bitcoin might shift from traditional centralized exchange to probably CME. So I think there's a lot of like niche in the market that potentially change, and I think like Trump did, most of the uncertainty from those big liquidity provider is gone. So I think it will be getting better and better. So it took probably after Christmas when New Year's come, the new 2025 will be probably a very promising years.
Right. So how about Joe? What's your observation after the U.S. elections?
Yeah, I think all the positive side has been already said. And one thing I kind of want to highlight is that now retail side is kind of making sure this is really something we have to pay attention. So I think not only in Japan, but a lot of Asian countries and other emerging market, they are going to, like double down on crypto. This is going to be the mainstream of, their investments, or at least one of the mainstream of the investments. One thing I'm kind of worried about is that we kind of now over really expecting a lot of things happen, and Trump was stressing out a lot of stuff. If we kind of disappoint some of the things that we expected, there might be something that downside risk is happening, or we can find. So that's something I'm paying attention.
Right. Yeah. So how about Kendrick? From a operation or product perspective, some of our panelists here, they've mentioned about institutional adoption. Are we seeing more and more, institutional money, coming to get more crypto exposure?
Yes, I think no matter from the institutional side or the retail side, I think definitely we're gonna see a lot of like cash inflow into the crypto market. And I think there's one thing I want to add in terms of the Trump's policy, because in his when Trump take office in next January, because and he said he's gonna bring more jobs back to US, which means he's gonna take other countries' jobs, and as a result, very likely that will weaken the US dollars. So let's say if the US dollar is getting weakening, right? And then the people holding the US dollar, they might find a way to hedge the asset they hold. And of course, gold, I think, will be the number one choice, which is the safe haven asset. But I think another thing, if other people think BTC is also a safe haven asset, then people might choose to buy the whole BTC. I think I'm quite bullish on this.
Right. So, you actually just mentioned one point, which is the U.S. dollar, and as everybody's know that Bitcoin, BTC right now is it's a macro asset. It's heavily tied to the macro development, and of course, interest rate, the strength of the dollar, and of course the inflation in the US is also factors to concern. How might the US Federal Reserve stance shift given the new political landscape? I mean, from the last Fed meeting, I think everybody's kind of interpret that the Fed has been has returned to a kind of hawkish stand, and people kind of worrying about the interest rate cutting pace may not be as quick as expected previously. Daniel, is that something concern you moving forward?
Yeah. In the long term, that Federal will maybe will decrease the interest rate, but now for the interest rate still remain high compared to in the history. So there is a very inflation pressure for the economies. So people want to hedge this inflation. The first choice is as gold, and a second is Bitcoin. But now we are seeing that the Bitcoin is a more adoption by the institutional and the retail investors to hedge this risk. Yeah.
Okay, so how about Jensen? So, what's your take on the inflation, or the how you interpret the Fed's latest comments?
I like to talk more numbers. So statistically speaking, if you look at the CME FedWatch tool, I think there's so the next Fed meeting, the Fed decision, it's only a 50-50 that they will cut 25 basis points. So there's a 50% chance they will cut 25 basis points in the next Federal Reserve federal interest rate decision, and there's a 50% chance that they will maintain rates that they are currently. And if we take a look, maybe it's further down the line, like 4 months down the line in March, that actually only it's mostly concentrated between a 25 to 50 basis points cut in 4 months. So it's actually a lot less than what we were expecting before. So like you said, it's a bit hawkish. So I think the USD will remain, not, it will remain quite strong given the interest rates are quite high relative to other currencies in the world.
Right. So, Tommy, what's your take on that? So, like, I remember that, some comments said, the U.S. stock market is actually quite strong, and the economy is actually doing pretty well in terms of performance in the U.S. So that may not be that kind of urgency to cut the interest rate, in a quicker pace. So, what's your take on that, Tommy?
I actually agree on like the aggressiveness of Fed cutting rate won't be like that fast. So that's why like the stock market is taking profit right now. Like a lot of the global stock market, equity market is going down a bit, but crypto is coming up. And I think that's partially because of all the uncertainty is settled and people realizing that the Fed rate cut won't be as aggressive as they expected. And I think probably after Trump take office next year, January 20th, something will be like probably some celebration kinds of like rate cut probably would happen after that. So I'm not sure, but yeah, that's my view.
Right. So, I want to ask Joe. So, what's your view on the current inflation trajectory, and also the dollar strength or weakness? How do you see that coming up, and how it's going to impact the crypto market in general?
I think Trump administration is expected to issue like a lot of debts and longer term interest rates going up, but we're not really sure yet. And also at this moment, the U.S. economy is quite strong, so I think the equity market and also I think Bitcoin, crypto in general, all those risk market is going to be stabilized because of the strong U.S. economy. And obviously now people pay a lot of attention where the dollar is going. But I really think that these are not really affecting crypto. I mean, of course it does, but the most important thing for crypto is the market sentiment. Market sentiment coming from the U.S. economy, how strong it is, and also this is something I didn't talk about previously, but I think all the investors, they're taking a lot less risk than they wanted to, so they're underexposed. So no matter what, I believe they really have to buy more Bitcoins and so on. So
All right. So,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. So, I want to move on to Kendrick. So, what's your observation? And, since, the dollar inflation, as all our guests said, perhaps, perhaps it's not the most important thing. Sentiment is always, a main driver in the crypto market. So, how do you see that, from that perspective, Kendrick?
Actually, like to be honest, I think in the short term we won't see like any shift in terms of like the Federal Reserve decision or stance. But I think in the long run, for example, when the Trump take office next year, when he introduced his tariff on imports, his tax cuts, and we will see the USD dollar like becoming weak, and we will see maybe the US labor market become tighter and stronger because the money all flow back to US and have a stronger labor market. So like eventually I think next year maybe the US labor market will become like more stronger, and we will see a faster economic growth. And I think eventually that might lead to a fewer interest rate cuts in 2025. So yeah, that's my question.
All right. So, that's actually able allow me to move on to the next questions, which I think right now Bitcoin's correlations with traditional markets, it's right now I would say it's a little bit tight, and is that correlations change after the U.S. elections, and also the relationship between Bitcoin and some of the big U.S. tech stocks. Some of people actually compare like these two categories. Daniel, what's your observation on that? So, is any of your clients actually correlating Bitcoin with like traditional assets?
Yeah, I think that in the crypto markets, the pricing, the philosophy for pricing the Bitcoin and other coins like Ethereum and Solana is different. The Bitcoin is pricing according to the macroeconomy and liquidity, or some the USD strength or not. And we also using for pricing the Ethereum or Solana using the DCF, discounted cash flow models, to discount these two assets. So it's totally different for the Bitcoin and the other asset. So we can see that the market cap share for the Bitcoin is raised to the 16%. So I think that the people trading the Bitcoin as a tools to hedge the volatility, hedge the risk, hedge the inflations. So that's my opinion. Yeah.
Right. So hedging inflations, of course, is one of the major narratives. So for BTC from a macro's perspective, but Jensen, like from our observation, is that from time to time we see BTC's correlations with traditional equity. Sometimes will be higher, sometimes less higher. Moving forward, how's that gonna correlations will play out in the market?
I think currently in our current market is that Bitcoin is more correlated with traditional equities than before, or than what the average is. I think currently it's just that the U.S. Market has been driving a lot of growth. Also, as Joe mentioned earlier, that there have been a lot of institutional investors that are underexposed, so they're just looking to buy to go risk on with Bitcoin. And it goes hand in hand with their equities investments as well. So I think currently, Bitcoin is being very correlated with the S&P. However, I think other assets like ETH and Solana currently are less. Traditionally speaking, ETH has been very correlated with Bitcoin, but however, in recent times, there has been quite a big, significant underperformance of ETH. Primarily probably due to L2s and less demand for gas. And then there's Solana, as always, just kind of more random, more or less decorrelated with the other underlying assets.
Right. So, well, speaking of ETH and Solana, we actually have a questions, from our audience, that ask about like the, overall, liquidity and fundamentals of altcoins, after the elections, and perhaps in moving forward in next year. Are you guys expecting anything like from altcoins at all? Because as Jensen mentioned, like ETH is kind of underperforming, but at the same time, you see some other meme coins, for example, that've been performing really well. Solana, I think, is doing okay. So, let's ask Joe about this. So, any fundamentals like altcoins or liquidity from altcoins that we should look for or to watch out?
I personally like Solana a lot because of the community excitement. They have a super team, really vibrant community. Whereas Ethereum, I think people kind of lost interest in Ethereum community. So then a lot of movement, money outflow from Solana to Ethereum to now Solana, and also people looking for something interesting for Sui and other ecosystem. And now Monad and Berachain is coming, I think, later this year. So I believe Solana really have a difficult time. And I'm sorry, so I keep saying different. Ethereum will have a very difficult things, and also the winners keep winning. So I think Solana attract more liquidity because of the meme coins and also DeFi vibrancy.
So how about you, Tommy? Are you agree on that?
Yeah, I'm 100% agree on that. Actually, I'm even more aggressive. So are you like traditionally Ethereum, like last cycle, they have DeFi, they have NFT, they have all kinds of innovation like generated from that chain because of a lot of people, talents and money building on top of Ethereum. But I think after Ethereum turned POS, all the Ethereum holder just trying to loop their Ethereum into barriers of layer 2 to earn from the yield that's actually sourced from the venture fund or the LPs in the primary market. So that kind of like stuff is not actually helping the industry to grow. There is no meaningful application built on top of Ethereum. There are actually a lot of built on Solana. So actually this cycle, a lot of people starting to like look into, okay, what exactly crypto can do application wise. And I think Sui is another advanced layer 1 that happened in this cycle. And I think Sui also has a very strategic regulation posture, I think. So they recently launched their ETF in Europe, like created by VanEck. So Sui is not only a more powerful layer 1, but it also is a more, I think it fits into the current regulation meta better than Ethereum and Solana. So yeah, that's my take on the oats part.
Really? Because I see that like Ethereum or ETH ETF, it's a narrative among institutional investors. Kendrick, is that going to change ETH or the performance of ETH potentially?
Yeah, I agree, because I think for this bull market, right? Because I think it's only one factor driven the price going up is the BTC, is all the ETF stuff, right? No matter the BTC ETF or the Ethereum ETF. But for the last cycle, we have like a DeFi and then end with NFT, and for this time, but for personal for me, I still have some like Ethereum, just not a financial advice. I personally still have Ethereum, because I think eventually Ethereum is gonna catch up with because currently I know like all the L2 they're kind like Ethereum on Ethereum, but yeah, personally for me, I'm still bullish or hold the Ethereum.
Okay, all right. So we now we've discussed a lot about the macros and some of the recent developments, the potential post elections environment and so on. We understand that there's a full of uncertainties moving forward, and how we able to use options to tackle these uncertainties in our trades. So before we actually move on to options trading, I want to remind our audience that we actually have a red packet giveaway campaign happening during the stream. So once you see the red packet button appear on the screen, there you go, and you're able just click it, and you're able to share a 500 USDT reward this time. So the first batch is only for the for newcomers, and for our existing users, you won't be missed out. So there will be the second and the third batches will be for you guys as well. So if you don't want to miss that out reward, stay in the stream. And also, if you want to take advantage of our interactive features, if you want to ask questions or just express, your opinions on how you trade options, so feel free to do that with our official Bybit website and Bybit app, so you can do that. So feel free to express your opinion and join the campaign. Also, don't forget to like and share this stream to your friends. So guys, let's move on to the second part of discussions, which is the options trading. I think a lot of people, they may ask about why use options instead of trading with perps or futures. Let's start with Daniel.
Yeah, I think option is a very good tools to hedge risk, especially crypto market is very volatile, and this is a non-linear products. We can do the hedgings and do the risk management. Comparing to the perpetuals, I think that some retail investor prefer using the perpetuals or futures to leverage their positions. But they may face a problem that they face a forced liquidation, a margin call risk, even when price goes up at maturities. But if the price go down, so you face the price dependencies, these problems. And option products give the investor the tools that they can hedge the risk and leverage their positions without forced liquidation margin call, and very flexible. So it can be gain a lot when in the bull markets, and only lose that the premium at the initial. Yeah, very good tools.
Right, but some may actually ask, well, I can actually hedge the risk using perpetual as well. So Jensen, why use option instead of perps?
Yeah, so I like to think as options as they actually complement your portfolio rather than just you should use them outright. If you should have a portfolio of spot, futures, and options, so that it complements the entire return profile of your portfolio. I think one thing we can do in the current environment, given that volatilities are somewhat high compared to what they were, a year ago at this time, is that you can do a cash covered put selling. It means that instead of buying options, you would be selling options. And if you do take physical delivery of the underlying asset, that's fine. You can hold on to it if you're bullish in the long term. And if not, you get to earn a very decent yield by selling from the option premium that you collect from the option buyer.
Right. So, Tommy, I know you guys also involved in a lot of options trading. So, what would you tell a user that trade with options instead of perp? What are you gonna tell him about it?
So I think the unique product Typus provide is 10 minutes expiry call option and put option on Typus, as we have like Sui as underlying asset, Solana as underlying asset. And for that specific product, we can provide up to about 800 times leverage. So with that kind of leverage, if you use it on perpetual, you can easily get liquidated in probably in 2 seconds, like the market volatiles. But for 10 minutes options, you can actually expose to like this kind of leverage and don't need to worry about liquidation. So I think that's the unique value proposition for this kind of short dated options. So it's more speculative demand for our users. And we also provide weekly options. And I think options as a source of yield that's unique existing on the market. So it's very different from perpetual. And if you want to play options, you don't need to actually do it directionally. You can bet on volatility. So like, for example, Deribit provides Trump election date options. So you definitely for sure that volatility is going up if you buy it when the product launch. So that's some like easy yield from the market. So you don't necessarily need to bet on direction. You can just bet on volatility. So I think that's also very different from perpetual. Yeah, and sometimes option provides you higher capital efficiency comparing to perpetual as well. Yeah, if you need to hold it long term, like 6 months, like funding rate will kill you, right? But options, yeah, you can fix that cost and integrate it into your portfolio. So It's just irreplaceable instruments that you can't use perpetual to replace. Yeah.
Right. So, Joe, I want to ask you about like how actually like options trading are able to, help traders to build a more versatile or a versatile portfolio. How's that gonna how can we take advantage of that flexibility?
I think first of all, they have to understand the risk and also the character of the option. But if you understand, like Daniel said, it's very you can decide like how much risk they take, how much premium they pay, what's the maximum loss you take, and upside is or could be unlimited. So if you use the future, you never know the downside risk, or you have to like every second check the position, etc., to manage a portfolio or the option risks. So I really think that the option character kind of give them not just the flexibility, but also the very like easy risk management conditions or situations.
Right. So, in traditional, financial market, options trading has been, here for a very long time, and of course, but in crypto trading, options, it's, I won't say it's totally new, but it's still relatively new, compared to, other, vehicles or other instruments. Kendrick, can you give us, how actually traders on Bybit can take advantage of our options products?
Yes, yeah, just as you said, like when the crypto like introduce options, right? Because like I think even now, like only in the Bybit and some other exchanges, they offer the inverse option, which means the option is settled in the base coin. For example, the BTC option is settled in BTC, Ethereum is settled in Ethereum. And but I think it's the more straightforward way trading option is like the traditional way, because in TradFi, most of our, I mean, all of the options pretty much they're linear options. And just like the Bybit, we offer the USDC settle option, which means you use the USDC to buy or sell options. So I think that's the difference. And personally for me, the option, I think now option for me is like a cash flow tool to average down my enterprise for underlying asset. For example, if I remove whole BTC and simply like do some cover call and put selling strategies to average down my BTC entry price. And then also at the same time, if I think the BTC is gonna like going up in a short time, then I can use the option premium that I collected from my short options to simply buy the call option. So yeah, so for now, I think for me, yeah, option is a cash flow tool for me, because before when I was a beginner, I think I just bought the naked call or put option, and then I started to sell option, and eventually I think I find the balance between the buy and short, and I consider it as a cash flow tool for me. Yeah.
Right. So it seems there's a learning curve on that. So I would like to cover a bit of the option strategies. As you guys just said in the first part of the discussions, if someone is bullish in a medium or long term, what kind of option strategies could be useful? If I want to set up for this kind of bullishment or account this market. Daniel, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, for the current markets, after the BTC have a quick movement from the 17K to 19.2Ks. And I think the best strategy for now, maybe as my opinions, maybe as caller strategies or be a bull spread. So you can using the bull spread or call strategy to buy a put protective if the market downside. So you can stop loss with a amount with you accepted, and you can get the premium when the call sell the call at with a higher strike price. So you can get because the market is a bullish market, so the premium from the selling the call is very high compared to the last time. So people can gain this a lot from these strategies. Yeah.
Right. So Jensen, what's your take?
Well, I mean, how bullish are you? How bullish are we talking about, right? Like, we're talking moderately bullish, or are we talking like giga bullish here?
Yeah, I mean, for general people, if they can take, reasonable risk over medium to long term, what he should do with options?
I think something for medium long term. I think probably something similar to what Daniel mentioned. It would definitely be a probably something around a 3 to 6 month call spread, where you're buying one out of the money call, and also selling one call that's also higher than that the one that you just bought. So I think in general, for long term, I think currently with the options market right now, it's quite there's a lot of time value you pay during this for this structure. So if the underlying asset doesn't move that much, it does not, there's actually quite a huge time value or time depreciation that you're actually paying to maintain this position. So in general, I think for something that's long term, I think you might want to also consider selling a put to fund that position if you're quite bullish for the long term. But yeah, in general, you should have some sort of a call spread, and then maybe mix that in with selling a put, just to not keep that time decay so punishing.
Yeah. Also, I think like picking the right strike price is also quite important, right?
And of course, it's like the gold money question is like, what's the strike price at an expiry that's going to land in the money, right? So if I knew that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, then let's move on to Tommy. I think for you guys, you guys probably more keen on like short-term trade with options. Would that be a very different strategies?
Yeah, like for short-dated option trading, it's more like you are taking advantage of the asymmetric payoff, and also the properties of you're not getting liquidated because you are buying options, and you can be exposed to a lot of leverage if you are correct in the very short-term time span. And I think that's actually very, very similar to meme coin. So you want the exponential, explosive P&L in very short time. And that's something we offer on chain for big major underlying assets such as Solana, Sui, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So I think that's a unique value proposition to our users. And because we do on-chain options, and it's a P2 pool to pool, so we don't have any market makers involved. So it's fully on-chain. You can check every settlement. So we basically get rid of the counterparty risk. If you can assume that the platform security risk is okay. And on top of that, so we can have more composability with like AMM LPs on chain. So like LPs providing Sui to USDC pair that's on AMM protocol. That's our major buyer of our weekly options. So they come here to buy some call options, out of money call options, and out of money put options to hedge out their downside, like tail risk. I think that's something people can't access on centralized exchange currently, because they don't provide such underlying asset. Yeah.
All right. So, well, before we move on, so I would like to remind all our audience that we're gonna release another round of red packets for all of our users. So once you see the red packet button, simply just click it, and you're able to share a 500 USDT reward pools. So I think you don't want to miss that. So click it, and then you're able to get a chance to win the prize pool. So don't miss that. And if you don't have a Bybit account, simply you can just create it now, and you can also get a chance to participate in the campaign as well. So I actually want to ask Kendrick one more question. So for us here at Bybit, we of course like options is a big part of our business, and on the Bybit website, we actually provide a lot of trading data, especially on options. So can you share a bit about like how we can actually observe market sentiment from those option data?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, currently, like besides the USD options, right, we also offer, like you mentioned, and option data, and we also have position builders, like for the traders to construct to build their strategies to say the P&L, like in terms of at the expiration, or like at the time past, how your portfolio will perform like under this trading strategy. So, and in terms of the option data, right, we offer like for example, the term structure, the skills. So for example, let's just focus on the term structure, right? So if we're going back to for example, the November 8th, the election day, if you look at the term structure, you will see on that day, like all the IVs being like pushed up on that day, because a lot of people are speculating on that day, right? A lot of people buy, which means there are a lot of demand. So that's why the IV is like be bought, like to be like up to the sky. Yeah. And besides term structure, also have like a skew, so you can look at the for example, the call or the call pull skew at a certain delta range. So based on that, you will know if the market current is bullish on the long term, on the short term, by looking at the call and pull, the implied volatility. And besides that, there's one thing I want to add is we at the Bybit option, we also offer the DDH, which is the dynamic delta hedge. I think this is a very important for the experienced option trader. So for example, if we're doing like a delta neutral strategy, right? Let's say simply by selling a straddle, which is you sell the same option, you sell the call and the put option with the same strike. So this is a delta neutral strategy, and if you're doing that, then you need like the DDH, like to hedge your risk if you want to only and short the vol and collect the premium from this strategy. So yeah, I think Bybit offer a lot of like the simple tools to help both the beginner and experienced option traders to help them to better trade the crypto options. Yeah.
Right. So, just one more follow-up questions. I think out of like all those trading data, I think, implied volatility could be something that for a typical user may be hard to understand, or hard to really to grasp, what that is. I want to open it to everybody here. So, how we can understand this data, and how we can, learn from that data, or maybe understand a bit about, compared to different kind of, time structures and everything. So perhaps we can start with Daniel. I think, for you guys, volatility is something very important, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, volatility is very important. It's so we call that option as a non-linear products. The only difference is we should pricing using the volatility in the BS models, and we have a historical volatility and the implied volatility. The implied volatility is traded by the market, so it will indicate information. For example, before and after the elections. And the U.S. elections, the implied volatility is very high before the imply for the markets. So the clients, investors, so they will show that they have want to hedge their risk using the options to buy the call, buy the put to hedge risk. But after US elections, you can see that the volatility term structure dropped down, and we can also use other information like 25 delta call minus put. So you will this indicator can show that the market is the option markets show that it's in bullish or in bearish. And because the option market, the main volume is traded by the institutional, so it can be more informative than the spot and the perpetual markets. Yeah.
Right. Jensen, so how about you? If you want to explain what implied volatility is to a 3 years old, what would you say?
Yeah. So thanks for giving me the easy question. So actually, I think in crypto, because we trade 24/7, 365, it's actually the easiest way to think of the implied volatility number, in my opinion, is, for example, let's say there's an option that's trading at 60% implied volatility. I would divide this number by 20, so that the magical number here is 20. It's approximately the square root of 365, just FYI. So if you divide the implied volatility number by 20, you get the average expected daily move. So if an option trades at 60% volatility, then we expect that underlying to move on average 3% per day until expiry. That's like that's what my interpretation of this implied volatility number is. So if that, I hope a 3-year-old can understand that, but maybe not, maybe a 6-year-old.
So what about you, Tommy? You want to add on anything?
I actually divided by 19. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess like everybody has their own like magical numbers, I guess. But Joe, I know like for you, you're pretty active in the primary market. That's where I know you, and I also know that in the secondary market and the trading kind of thing, you also involve a lot. And from your audience, like you also have your own YouTube channel, of course. Like from your perspective, is there any are we getting more and more kind of retail interest on options trading?
Yes, definitely. I think so. I think the option space, we only have one problem, which is liquidity. If we have more liquidity coming from institutions or some interest from retails, we get to a lot more, I think, lucrative option strategy. But also, option trading would be a lot easier, and I think it's going to be common for like a lot more people. So yeah, definitely a lot more interest coming. I already see some interest from my users when I talk about options. People are like, oh, I want to learn more. So it's just a matter of time. And if we have more opportunities to educate or teach people, that would be accelerate this trend, I believe.
Yeah, that's actually what we're trying to do here today. But speaking of liquidity, Kendrick, I know like here at Bybit, we spend a lot of effort, just to provide more and more liquidity, to the market, especially the options market. Can you highlight some of the efforts that we've been doing?
Yeah, actually, we've been working with several like key option market makers, right? We also had a liquidity program with them. Like we monitor the liquidity every day to make sure we have the good liquidity for both the BTC and Ethereum and Solana options. And I think yeah, the thing is, if we can have more like natural takers, so if Joe can help, have more like retail investors, traders coming to trade Bybit, and then I think that the liquidity will also increase, because it's not just a one-side game, right? So yeah, if we have more option traders and Bybit, and eventually our liquidity will becoming better and better. And currently we have, especially in this quarter, we have spend a lot of time and focus more on the liquidity to make sure we have the best liquidity in the industry.
Right. So, I'm sure you guys are doing a lot, try to provide the best liquidity, in class, for our traders. I think there's a lot to, expect moving forward. But of course, like we can talk about this like all days, but, I think we have only about like 5 minutes left for this live streaming. So I want to have one last questions before we wrap up. So let's start with Daniel. What is your biggest concern for the crypto markets in the next 3 to 6 months?
Maybe I think that for the crypto markets, the main concern may be the policies uncertainties. That because but for now, as after the Trump elected, and so uncertainty of policy may be clear, and they have some institutional investors buy and more cryptos, and some policies, poor policies, have been made established. So I think that for the next few months, I think the policy is uncertainty for this. Yeah.
Right, Jensen, is a policy a concern for you for the coming 3 to 6 months?
So I think with policy-wise, I think we're more, we have a better expectation of what the policies will be, especially from, given the crypto-friendly stance that the future President Trump has been standing on for quite a while now. I think actually, and like switching gears, like not to like my biggest concern for the crypto markets is actually not like policy per se, but it's actually like with the current market around meme coins. I think currently that is my biggest concern. As everyone knows, that meme coins are like they're short-lived. So I would tell people to don't put too much money into meme coins. Trade more options, and I think the options have a way more better return profile than meme coins.
Okay, so how about you, Tommy?
I can agree more. Trade less meme coin. I think my biggest concern probably being not holding enough Bitcoin and holding too much Ethereum in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah,
underexposed and expose my money at the wrong asset probably. But like people still expecting Ethereum to pump, right? They're waiting for that candle. But like the more people waiting, I think the later the candle will come. It probably come at some times, but yeah, for the next 3 to 6 months, I can't see a reason the candle will come. Yeah.
Right. So, some of you guys say meme coins could be a concern. Policy could be a concern. Joe, what is your concern for the next 3 to 6 months?
In addition to those, maybe for a little bit longer term, but I think a lot of ETH is locked in the market, regardless of L1, L2. When they try to withdraw, it takes at least a couple of days, or it might be like 7 days. So a lot of people try to short or at least cover the risk. So this is going to accelerate deterioration of the market going down. So I'm pretty careful about Ethereum market. This type of things might happen.
Right. Yeah. So Joe's concern, it's about Ethereum. So how about you, Kendrick? Well, what's your biggest concern in the market, in coming 3 to 6 months?
Well, I think the other speakers already mentioned the meme coin, Ethereum, and all the other stuff. I think for me, I just one thing to add. I think we should watch how the Chinese. How the China is doing, because currently I think US is printing money, and also like recently Chinese government is encouraging like all the investors to put money into the stock market with some very favorable policies, favor those insurance companies or some pension fund. So I think it's very interesting to see in the next few months that the two biggest economy in the world, the US and China, is both printing the money. Yeah, I think it's not a concern for me, but I think it's just very interesting to watch, like how the two biggest economy gonna react to each other, especially when the Trump take office in January.
Yeah, I think that's also part of the macro developments that we really kind of seeing unfold, coming up. So that's something interesting to watch. But I think to wrap up the conversation today, we understand that the crypto market's almost like pretty much uncertain all the times. The only certain things is that there are uncertainties in the market. So the problem is how we tackle that. And we've discussed about like how we're able to use options, to tackle some of these uncertainties in the market. And we've learned that options could be a very flexible tools in terms of building a sophisticated strategies. And also it will be it's a good companion to part of your broader crypto portfolios. I think there's still so much to talk about in options trading. I hope we're able to get a chance to have more in-depth discussions like this, so that we can actually share more about the knowledge and how we're actually able to use options trading in real actions. And I think that's actually quite important. So, well, thank you so much for everyone for joining this live stream. This is the Bybit Mastermind professional live streaming, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.